What's up, party people? BV here, and welcome to episode 5 of Retail Media Vibes, a doing business in Bentonville podcast. We are back once again in Rogers, Arkansas, recording at Podcast Video Studios. My guest this week is Claire Reed, and we're going to get to know Claire a little bit in just a minute. So our topics today are going to be the growth of Aldi. Aldi's definitely been on a run of late, hype marketing, and everything you want to know about hype marketing and what impact it has in the marketing space and advertising space. And then we're going to wrap it up with some holiday predictions, what Claire and I both think is going to happen this holiday season. We're going to do our quick hits as always, and we'll wrap things up with our game, Bold Vibes. So stick with us. All right, so we are jumping into our vibe chat, and we get a chance to meet today's guest. Today's guest is Claire Reed. Welcome, Claire, to Retail Media Vibes.
Thanks for having me.
Great. Well, it's good to have you. Good to have you. Quick question. How many episodes of the podcast, Retail Media Vibes, have you listened to so far?
Okay, so you're not going to like my answer, but I'm going to be very blunt and very honest. 0.
Oh, wow.
I'm not a podcast girly. I can't listen to them. I don't know what it is. Every now and then I can listen to them, but I am much more, and maybe I need to try the video because I'm much more.
Yeah, watch the video, YouTube. Yeah, we're on YouTube.
More of a visual learner. Even when it comes to reading books or listening to books, I've never been an Audible person. I'm trying to get more into it just with my commute driving to Bentonville. So maybe I'll listen to this one. But even the podcasts that I've been on in the past, I have not listened to.
Yeah.
The ones that are published.
Well, all right, here, do me a favor. So
Okay.
maybe listen to this one, maybe.
Okay.
But at least share.
Okay. Oh, for sure.
Share the podcast.
I'll share them at least with my husband.
Okay, there you go. That's one more.
He'll listen to it.
One more listen. So, but let's get to know you a little bit. So, I know you. I've known you for years, obviously, but tell the audience a little bit about Claire and your background, and how we know each other and those sorts of things.
So, personal side, I've lived in Fayetteville for almost 20 years, I think. So I've been in this Northwest Arkansas bubble for quite a long time. I'm married, have 2 little girls, 4 and 5 years old. I have been in marketing, I like to say, from day one, because whenever you fill out your college application, you have to automatically select a major. And I randomly selected ad PR, so advertising and public relations, and the journalism department. And I just randomly selected it on a whim, thinking I would probably change it down the line. Nope, never did. Loved it. Loved both the PR side and the marketing advertising side of it. I loved it all. I loved being able to have a creative hand in things, but then also the strategic mindset as well. And I've been in marketing ever since. So started in the e-commerce space, which was super fun to be a part of. And then I switched, still e-commerce focused, but in the digital space. And so that's how I met you at Saatchi. Fun fact, whenever I was interviewing with BV, he actually didn't initially want to hire me. So that's
It was for a different role, but okay.
That's a super fun fact. Anyways, he hired me, was on his team for quite a few years, left Saatchi, left agency life for a little bit, came back and rejoined your team. We've been partnered together for a long time. Now I'm in the B2B space, still marketing, B2B space with stat recovery services, and I'm loving it.
Good. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. It's been great knowing you obviously all this time. And obviously we've been great friends and been through a lot of, cool moments together. So let me ask you a few icebreakers, kind of, do a couple of those questions. So you like Taylor Swift?
Yeah.
Have you listened to her latest album?
I have.
Okay. I'd love to hear your thoughts.
I feel like she is getting a lot of hate for it.
Okay.
I love it.
Yeah.
There's a few songs that I like more than others. And it's funny, one of my coworkers, she told me, she calls me very much a millennial, and I'll own it. I'm very much a millennial.
Okay.
She's like, I feel like you would really like this song. This song is so millennial. And it was actually one of my least favorites. But overall, I love it. And want to save some of that for hype marketing, that section.
Oh, yeah. All right.
So
Well, we'll bring that back around.
Yeah.
And then what was your last impulse buy online?
Oh, gosh. Honestly, I have been all about just cozy sweatsuits. And, dude, Walmart's crushing it in their private label game right now.
Oh, good.
So with their clothing line. So I got, I just bought another sweatsuit from Walmart.
Yeah. Okay. Honestly, like, I think the hoodie in general is.
I'm not a hoodie girl.
You're not a hoodie.
I'm not a hoodie girl.
Oh, okay.
No, I've tried. I even thought about trying to wear my black hoodie just because I thought you might be in a black hoodie.
Hey, yeah. No, I don't.
But no, just your classic crew neck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. All right, cool. All right, so we're going to now move on to our quick hits.
Okay.
All right, let's move on now to quick hits. So our first story in quick hits this week is, Meta is now going to start serving ads based upon your AI chats, right? So, they're testing ad targeting based upon, your interaction with their AI chat across Messenger and Instagram. So the way that and what you say to that in that chat and AI is going to be used as data for advertising on Meta's platform. So, think, Instagram, obviously, and Facebook, et cetera. So, which is really interesting. And there's obviously been a lot of pushback, right? Because then people think, oh, my chats are private and why, if you think your chats are private,
Yeah.
especially through a social media channel that monetizes for advertising using your data, you probably need to go and do some research. Because that's not really, that obviously that's how they monetize. So in a way, to me, that's not surprising, but I think there's a lot of pushback, because people just think, why would they be targeting me based upon that chat? Right.
Right. Well, and I feel like you and I are in an interesting position because personally, yes, this is creepy, but I don't think that this is the first thing that's creepy from a targeting perspective.
What?
Right. And that's where I feel like you and I are probably numb to this because we already know and are familiar with the back end of the targeting side of things. So to me, I don't think that this is any more creepy than, them listening to our microphones or getting, talking about
Are you about to drop
yeah, right.
a key story here? Are you saying the microphones on our devices are being used for advertising targeting? No way.
Yeah, right. Okay. Definitely. I think there's even a setting right now that you can turn off on your iPhone where you can turn that off. But I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to turn it off because actually some of these ads that they're getting from me talking about needing a certain camera lens or a certain XYZ, whatever it is, they've actually been helpful. Like even one time I was like, man, I got served an ad the other day and I can't remember what it was, but it was making this up. But it was a really neat backpack that I needed for traveling. And then maybe if I talk about it enough today, I'll get served the ad tomorrow. And I did, and it was actually helpful. And then I went and made the purchase. So yes, it's creepy, and again, maybe it's because we're numb to it. I don't think it's any more creepy than what every other, what else is happening?
My reaction was a 3-letter word to the story. Duh.
Yeah. Duh.
Right? This is not surprising.
Yeah.
Right. And so, I think also you throw the word AI in there, right? And AI chat, and of course it gets a lot of buzz.
Right.
I think for the most part, most people don't realize how much data they actually give up.
Right.
And how that data is actually used, right? And we do because of the world that we were in. Yeah, for sure. Cool.
Exactly.
All right, let's move on to the next quick hit. So the next quick hit is about work slop. So work slop is a phrase that's being thrown around the workplace now for people who are using AI. It's in AI generated content, whether it's emails or reports or documents, and then they're throwing it over to whoever they have to send that document to. And it's not accurate, right? There's mistakes, or it's not the right content. And then the person who receives it then has to go through this process of trying to validate that information that has been put into that document. And so there's been studies that have said that work slop is costing a lot of time, and all that time is accumulating to lots of dollars. So my question to you is, like, have you seen work slop? Have you actually contributed to your work slop?
For sure I have, especially in whenever you're jumping into a new role and you're having to hit that learning curve. And I mean, I'm in a whole new industry that I've never been in before. And so I was heavily relying on AI and chat to help me better understand it. And now that I'm past that learning curve, I feel like I'm not integrating with it as much. But even the other day, so we're redoing our website right now, and we are tapping into chat quite a bit, but we've got a tailored chat that should and does know our industry and our company through and through. And so I feel like if more and more companies do that for the brands that they're marketing for or themselves, I feel like that will help. But even the other day, we were working through the website and we were chatting through some copy options, and I made the comment, I was like, man, I feel really bad for a lot of copywriters out there, because I feel like that is one of the roles that AI could potentially replace. But to your point on work slop, and even what chat spit out for us for a one-liner, it's like, no, this still needs a human element to review it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think first of all, with AI in the workplace, it's all new, right? And so there tends to be opportunity for mistakes, people misusing it in different ways.
Yeah.
Maybe AI wasn't the right, tool to use for a specific request. So I think sometimes it may get overused, and so that I think leads to it. Some people may just be lazy and don't want to, or we'll do it the other way. Maybe they just don't have time. They're very busy,
right,
and don't have the time to really check the work,
right,
and before it gets sent out. I do think that this will correct itself over time, but I think ultimately the person that is creating the content, whatever it is, if they're using AI, they are responsible for the accuracy,
right,
and completeness.
Right.
I also think about it a little bit like it's like having a more junior level employee that it works for you that's maybe new.
Yeah.
And so you try to also help them we get the content correct, but they are going to make mistakes, right? You train them and they're going to make mistakes. So I do think this is a temporary thing
for sure.
And there's obviously, as people get more skilled in using AI, I would expect that work slop will decrease significantly.
Well, and I think, I feel like I even noticed the other day, chat had a disclaimer. It was like, hey, I'm going to make mistakes. Yeah. Review what I send you.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's new or if that's always been there, but maybe they know about work slop.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. All right, let's move on to our next quick hit. So Amazon is rolling out what's called add to delivery. So they have this new add to delivery feature that lets Prime members bundle small orders into their next scheduled delivery. I think of this one kind of like a double dash, right? So with DoorDash, you can have your dasher stop at another spot and bring a complete order instead of creating two different orders. With this, it's interesting because when I shop occasionally on Amazon, I usually try to buy everything I'm thinking about at one time.
Yeah.
My wife, she'll buy one thing and then she'll buy another thing, and so she'll have separate orders that will come in. Obviously, there's some efficiencies if you're bringing all those orders together in one package. And I also see an opportunity for impulse shopping, right? And so an impulse opportunity, you've done something. Oh yeah, I just remember I need to get this, and so it could help. What are your thoughts about what add to delivery could potentially do for shoppers?
So when I first saw that add to delivery button, I mean, I forget when it was, maybe a week or so ago, my first thought was, wow, is this the first time that Walmart was actually ahead of the game before Amazon? Because so we have Walmart Plus and we use in-home delivery, I mean, at least once a week, if not twice a week. And one of my favorite features for Walmart Plus is that you can add to delivery.
Yeah.
And I mean, I feel like we've been doing that for months. So if we forget something, yes, there's a time limit on it, but same thing with Amazon.
Sure.
So I was like, wow, this is great. But Walmart did this first. And I feel like in the past, it hasn't always been like that.
Right.
Especially when it comes to e-commerce. And now, yeah, I'm really proud of them.
And yeah. Usually you see like, I think if I think back to, e-commerce shopping, it's usually like, hey, you bought this, do you want to buy this? So it's more recommendation. This one feels like it's a little bit more of a pull, right? Yeah, you're like, oh yeah, I bought all of these things. Oh, I just remember I needed to add this. And so then you can go ahead and move that into your delivery and have one package. Yeah. I mean, it seems like a no-brainer.
For sure.
Right. At this stage, it's still, to me, thinking about it from an impulse buy perspective as well. So like, as more people shop online, like the impulse, like does seem like there's a lot of impulse opportunity there. I don't feel like anybody's really nailed impulse.
Maybe with like the buy now button where you don't have to go through the full.
Yeah, the one-click buy. Yeah.
Yes, that one-click buy. I mean, that's gotten me several times with some impulse purchases.
Yeah. I'm sorry. And I'm thinking about like the impulse, like when you go to the store.
Yes, and you throw it next.
And you're walking down, I think about it like the checkout aisle.
Yeah.
And so like, certain stores will snake you through all these little tchotchkes and things that you can buy and candy and all that stuff. Oh, yeah, you buy one more thing, buy one more thing, buy one more thing. I don't know if that's really been nailed on the e-commerce side.
No, because I mean, it's definitely slowed down in our house with Walmart in-home because I don't walk down the candy aisle and I don't go grocery shopping when I'm hungry, which is when I make my impulse buys.
Yeah.
So
yeah, cool. Well, it's interesting. Like you said, it's good to see Amazon catch up to Walmart and what they've been doing and Walmart Plus. So so we'll see. All right, now we're going to move on to main topic. So our first main topic today, we're going to talk about Aldi. Have you shopped at Aldi?
I have.
And do you shop regularly?
I don't.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. We'll get into that, I'm sure. But Aldi has really grown quite a bit and has become one of America's fastest growing grocers. They've doubled their store count. They bought Winn-Dixie, and they keep winning shoppers through low price, and they have some strong private labels. They definitely have a very strong private label strategy. They're not really trying to compete with Walmart at mass. They're very simple in the way that they do things and the way that they merchandise, and obviously using private label brands and a lot of things there. And so I feel like they're getting some momentum to be a very prominent grocer in America. I think they're number 3 now, behind Kroger. Walmart's 1, Kroger is 2, and they're number 3. And so they plan to open 225 stores here in the U.S. and this year, in 2025. That's going to bring their store count to 2,600 stores. So, a little bit more than half of what Walmart has comparatively. And their traffic has rose significantly. In the first half of this year, their customer traffic rose to 7%, when previously it was 1.8% growth. So they've had like 7% growth in traffic as well in the first half of this year. So it's very, very significant. I think they partner with Instacart, right? So what I appreciate is it feels like every retailer that has some sort of data goes out and starts a retail media network, an RMN. They didn't. They're working with Instacart, right? Yeah. So and Instacart obviously is very very capable in the retail media space, and also very capable in delivery, similar to obviously in competing with Walmart. So they, in a way, they have that capability. Their products are low cost, they private brands, and I think about whatever people think about the economy, but potential economic changes, and how people are probably thinking more about value now than before or in times past. Having a store that kind of focuses on value overall and having those private brands where they can charge a lot less than the big brands really feels like it's good timing for them. So, I'd love to know like what your thoughts on your experiences with Aldi, and do you feel like they are on a good track to continue to grow in our country?
Yeah, for sure. I think my first, just looking at this question, this topic of conversation, I initially go towards, I feel like Aldi has kind of like a social cult following, really similar to Trader Joe's as well, which they're founded by brothers.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's how I first, maybe not first came across them, but first became more knowledgeable about Aldi, was via influencers. And I mean, they've got, similar to Trader Joe's, they have their Aldi staples. And like you said, they're all private label. I mean, I won't lie, whenever I was going into an Aldi based on an influencer post that I saw, I was a little bit underwhelmed. But I do think, I mean, that was years ago. But I think that if they could continue to tap into that social influencer space and continue to build that cult following, I mean, I think that will help them tremendously, or continue to help them, because I think it's already happening. And I mean, you still definitely get the same vibes between Aldi and Trader Joe's from your in-store experience. I mean, like you said, they don't have like a huge e-commerce play for either of them. I mean, Trader Joe's is a lot smaller. But yeah, that's where my mind immediately goes.
Yeah. I mean, who do you think is really the target Aldi shopper? Like, I mean, obviously value can reach all economics and demographics, but who do you think like Aldi is trying to appeal to?
Yeah. I mean, and my gut says larger families. So I mean, just the influencers that I follow that are cost conscious, or they've got 6 kids that they're trying to feed dinner every night, and so they want to get the value from what they're getting as well as the quality. And I think that's where Aldi's winning, is you've got value and quality too.
Yeah. I mean, there is a lot of push by stores to create these store brands, right? You think about Costco and Kirkland, and the value of that brand specifically at Costco. And I think it's interesting to see how these brands are continue to be trip drivers, or have the opportunity to be trip drivers, right? A lot of people, are Costco members because of Kirkland, right? And, you have Members Mark on the Sam's Club side, right? And in Walmart and grocery, there's great value in a lot of other store brands. And so like, as Aldi continues to, try to win, with those families and value shoppers, like, can they still establish a strong brand presence,
I think so, but I do think that that's probably where, like with the private labels themselves, I think that that's probably where Trader Joe's or even Walmart with Better Goods might be doing it a little bit better, if way more better.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Better Goods. Their branding, I mean, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's winning me over. I mean, in my previous role, whenever I was marketing ice cream, I mean, and just talking with the merchant, I mean, yeah, Better Goods is taking over the shelves, and it's because it's performing. It's not just because it's what Walmart wants, because it's performing.
Yeah.
And I think that's where Aldi might be slightly different, is that, yes, they're winning with their private labels or their private brands, but the marketing or even just the branding behind those private brands isn't as, I don't want to say elevated, but maybe elevated for lack of a better words, compared to Trader Joe's and Better Goods.
Yeah, I think that's, you hit on a really important point for me, which is like, not only build a brand, but you have to have a great product, right? I think so much in our world of marketing, we're thinking about the brand,
Yeah.
right? And we're like, how do we build a brand? How do we, build a brand at retail? But in the reality is, if the product doesn't live up to the expectations, then that brand doesn't mean anything, right? So it's got to be a good partnership between a good product and a good brand. And I think, again, going back to the Costco and Kirkland example, like that's, it's been good products going along with the brand, and those continue to you got I'll use the word synergy, right, between those two that really allow that brand to explode. And if it's a core of your offering, then there you go. You have the opportunity to win at retail, right? So
Exactly.
yeah, cool. You're just winning the hearts and the minds of your customers. You're going to continue to win, right? See, it's easy, right? No problem. All right, let's move on to our next main topic. Today, we're going to talk about hype marketing. So it feels like hype marketing always has its moments for sure. Like,
Right.
Building up all of this excitement, building up all this energy in a lot of different ways in order to, get people excited. I almost think of hype marketing almost like FOMO marketing, right? Because you've built something up so much in people's minds that they have to have it, and they just have that fear of missing out. And I will admit I fall for hype all the time.
I love the surprise boxes, BB.
Well, I don't go on. So for me, hype comes from the standpoint of if I see something and more of a collaboration. Yeah, I like hype more. My hype is more of a collaboration. So when I see an interesting collaboration, I think a mystery box is more of like a lottery, scratch lottery ticket. You just, I don't know. So there's that level of excitement, right?
Yeah.
But I think, when it comes to hype marketing, like I said, there's a few different angles of hype that can be built, right? So it could be a limited edition product, only available for a limited time. There is, you don't know what you're going to get in the box. I don't know if that necessarily works well for CPG, unless it's like, but there's that. And then there's the collaboration, right? And so there's some sort of partnership. I think Oreo had.
I was
Supreme.
in that.
Yeah, I had Supreme Oreos, and those sold out instantly.
Post Malone and Selena Gomez.
Yes, and it just builds all that hype. But to me, in some cases, hype marketing works. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I roll my eyes. Sometimes I get really excited. So, like, in your mind, like, what do you think really makes hype marketing work?
Well, I mean, even bringing it back to the other topic, you've got to have a product that works and branding that works with it. So, I mean, at first, using the Oreo Post Malone as an example, at first I was like, what? Why is Post Malone making his own Oreo? But then, the marketing behind it, and then actually trying the product, which I love Oreos, but
yeah, that's my kryptonite.
Yes, same. And I loved it. And I think the campaign performed, from what I hear. It did really well.
Right.
So I think, you've got to have the right product and the right marketing behind it.
Yeah.
Or branding behind it.
Yeah, and you also see the collabs even in the QSR or fast food space quite a bit that actually drive a lot of hype. So a few years back, Travis Scott had the Travis Scott meal.
Oh, yeah.
And he was offering that through McDonald's and
SpongeBob and Wendy's, right?
Yeah, SpongeBob and Wendy's in the sneaker community, and I would say like there was one with Cactus Plant Flea Market.
Okay.
And so all the hype beasts around in the sneaker community and were all about buying up all these Happy Meals that had the toys in them. Yeah. Have you ever bought like a Happy Meal or some sort of
to get the toy?
Just to get the toy?
Oh yeah, for my girls for sure. I think the Squishmallow ones were a hit for the girls for sure. And they wanted all of those. I think I've even had to go and ask, hey, can I just buy the Squishmallow toy? And they let me. So
do you think hype marketing will always work, or do you think, obviously you have to have the right pairing, but like, do you think people just get, not another mystery box or
yes and no. I think it's, I think it's also just trends and what people are jumping on with trends.
Yeah.
I mean, even using like the surprise, like the things that are boxed. I feel like it's more so in the toy space where you don't know what you're going to get. Candy could probably play into that. And
Cereal does that.
Yeah, it's actually, Dum Dums even do. Like, think back to the Dum Dums, like the purple question mark wrapper.
Oh, yeah.
That's the original.
Right, yeah.
That's the original surprise. But I mean, my kids love that. And now it's across almost every single toy. Like there's Barbie, there's those puppy doll. I mean, there's everything. You don't know what toy you're going to get. And it's gamification. You got to try to get them all.
Yeah, it is. I guess there is a certain level of gamification, as well, to it because, I think of it as like the Pokemon mentality. You got to catch them all and kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I think, to me, if you find the right, I also feel like the right cultural moment also is an opportunity. Like Cranch, right? That was ketchup and ranch, and that became a thing. That was Taylor Swift, right? With Cranch?
No, I don't think so. Was it?
I think she did something with Cranch, and then it took off.
Maybe.
All right, we might edit that one out.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I do think that, I do think the timing has to be good.
Yeah.
The partnership has to be right. You have to know your audience.
Right.
Right. Because the other thing too is if you put something in a box or you collab with somebody and that user or that customer is a big fan and they go and they buy it, are they going to come back and buy your product when it's not a collab anymore, right? And it's not, it's just the regular product. So are you?
Well, by then there might be another trends that brand
switch over
happiness too.
I know. I do think as long as there is an opportunity to build excitement, right? And that's what marketing is, right? You're trying to build demand, right? You're trying to build a desire for a certain brand or product, right? As long as that can work and it's done in the right way, the right product, right collab, I think hype marketing will continue to work. It'll continue to catch me for sure.
For sure.
But and so I think hype marketing is really gonna stick
around. Well, and I mean, yes, we've talked about collabs, but I feel like we only briefly touched on like the limited edition side of things.
Yeah.
And looping it back to, do I like Taylor Swift's new album? Dude, she has crushed it when it comes to hype marketing.
Oh yeah,
all of her limited edition albums. I was looking at a infographic the other day that shows Taylor Swift's album sales by album. And I think it was the Midnight's album where there was an uptick and then another uptick for the 1989 Taylor's version. But the reason that the Midnight's album had such a high point of sales was I think that was her first one where she had multiple vinyl editions, so you could collect all of them. And then with this, the Life of a Showgirl, I don't even know how many she had, but I mean, I think at least 8. Don't quote me on that. And they were all limited edition. You could only buy them for 24 hours. So she released it on her website for 24 hours. And so then the graphic shot up for Life of a Showgirl because there were so many unique versions of her album. I mean, and yeah, it got a little annoying with the marketing of it, but also she knows what she's doing. And people are still coming back for more.
Yeah, she's a machine for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool. All right, we're going to move on to our third and final main topic, and we're going to have our holiday season predictions. So Claire has a couple predictions. I have a couple predictions that we are going to talk about today. So, some of these predictions may happen. Some of them may not. That's why they're predictions. And I don't think anybody's holding me to these. All right. So
I will.
Oh, that's true. We will. You will. So this holiday season, this is, my prediction. Prediction number 1 here is I do believe that agentic shopping will actually go mainstream, well, more mainstream than I think we expect. I actually think that more people or more shoppers will buy through AI, through live stream, which I know live streams have had a surge and then they've kind of quieted down. Now they've kind of normalized. Like, it is still obviously a way that brands and products can engage with shoppers. I still, I still think there has to be the right product fit. I don't think every product is great for a live stream, but I do think that there are definitely opportunities. So, but that all being said, even though there is this normalization of the live stream shopping, there's obviously all this excitement about agentic shopping and using AI to shop. And now we have these very powerful tools that can do a lot of this research, and they allow us to find gifts, right? We don't have to sit through a live stream and wait for the gifts to show up, or to buy them. We can just find them directly on AI, through AI, ChatGPT, et cetera. So that's my prediction. My prediction is that we're really going to hit its stride. I think it's going to drive a lot of adoption, and more people will buy via agents and AI than they will through live streams. What are your thoughts?
I totally agree. Even the other day, this was at holiday shopping, but the other day we're renovating our house, or a portion of our house right now, and I needed to order some windows and doors. And I was trying to do just research on my own via Google, just shopping online. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go in store to Home Depot, or I think Home Depot. I don't know which one. I went to Home Depot or Lowe's, and I was like, I'm going to go back to the back of the store, talk to a person. They can help me plan out the whole thing. I hate to say this. It was not helpful at all. He just asked me to pull up my item SKU, and I was like, that's not what I want. So I left. Along with using chat, I also used Home Depot's AI chat feature on their website. It was amazing. Yeah. I finally found what I was looking for. I was looking for matching windows and doors, and a single door and a double door. And I found it all via the Home Depot AI chat. So yes, I had a little bit of help from ChatGPT, but so, I think if I'm using it for home renovations, people are definitely going to be using it for.
Do you use ChatGPT to talk to the Home Depot app? They could work it out?
No. And actually, truly, Home Depot's was a lot more helpful than ChatGPT.
Well, it should be, all right? It has all of the data, right? So it should be able to be more helpful. So exactly. Cool. All right. What's your bold prediction? Give me one.
So I feel like this one has honestly been trending upwards over the last few years, but it's definitely trending in my household. We are leaning more towards experiences and subscriptions over physical. I say toys just because I've got little kids in the house right now. Yeah. But over physical items. Even the other day, I almost asked Chad for some new loafers, and I was like, no. I need to get something that's more of an experience or more of a subscription. Yeah. And so last year for Christmas, I asked Chad for some pottery lessons over time. So it was a subscription and an experience. And yeah, I think that's definitely, at least my household is going.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting. I do think, kids like to get their, the PlayStation Network, subscription, as usually as a gift card and a lot of that stuff. But I think also, like, I subscribe to Calm.
Okay.
I subscribe to Blinkist. Some of these things that I personally pay for. It would be great if somebody, to be gifted, something like that.
What are those storybooks? What are those, the storybooks where I gifted it to my dad, actually, but it's an email, and the gift recipient gets an email. You can choose how often to get it, but I think I set it up for once a week or once every other week. And they get a question. The recipient fills out the question, and then at the end of the subscription, it's all put into a book. So it's basically your family member's story put into a book, and it's bound and everything. So there's a little bit of a physical element to it.
So it's to put a finer point on your prediction, are you saying that more subscriptions and, let's say digital, and experiences, subscriptions and experiences are going to increase significantly this holiday season? For
sure. And I feel like it's almost like it's the new gift card in a way.
And we all love gift cards.
Yeah, everyone loves a gift card.
I don't know, but that's... Okay. All right. So let's move back to me with my next bold prediction. So I'm going to say that TikTok shops are going to be the new Black Friday. So there's going to be, we were talking about impulse buying, right? I think TikTok shops are one of the biggest recipients of impulse buys, right? You're flipping through your feed, and all of a sudden you land on something that, all right, it's an impulse buy. I think, with TikTok being as popular as it is and becoming more of a shopping search and shopping destination, I think there's going to be it's going to be a huge season for TikTok shops. I mean, what are your thoughts?
For sure. I mean,
Do you die through TikTok shops?
I have in the past. I actually removed the app recently. Yeah, it's just getting out of the social commerce space, and then I just needed to take a break from shopping online.
Yeah.
And TikTok shop, I mean, yeah, they get you with the deals. I mean, they get you with the deals and it not even being Black Friday. So I totally agree with you. I think they're going to blow up on Black Friday. But then to your first prediction, I think that's also going to help with live streaming on TikTok too, because I know that's where a lot of the TikTok shops getting
absolutely.
They're live streaming. So
absolutely.
They'll still win there.
Okay, cool. All right, well, let's go back to you for your second and final bold prediction for this holiday season.
So this might be a little more on the personal side, but I do feel from my algorithm that I'm served on TikTok, even though I just deleted the app, Instagram Reels, or even, this makes me sound so old, but Facebook Reels. I feel like Facebook Reels, that they actually know me better than Instagram or TikTok. But one thing that I'm seeing is regifting. So going to
that's usually a faux pas.
Yes. Yeah. True. I'll be honest, we actually do have a tote in our attic that is regifting. But no, not that type of regifting. I should say secondhand. So I've seen quite a few influencers going to Goodwill, finding something, and they're not just regifting an old t-shirt that they find on the rack. They're finding something and making it into something new. So Chad and I actually did this a few years ago, where we went to Goodwill, or I went to Potter's House locally, and I bought a bunch of teacups, old bowls, whatever I could find that honestly I just thought was pretty. And we made candles. So we melted down the wax, put in our essential oils, and made candles. And those were our gifts to quite a few family members. And so I feel like, yeah, I think that's going to come
secondhand.
Yes,
is going to definitely be a big trend this holiday season.
Yes, whether it's making candles or secondhand, like refurbishing furniture for someone, definitely.
Yeah, I love that. I would have never thought about that.
Yeah,
so it's cool. All right. Well, those are our holiday predictions. So we are going to wrap things here with some bold vibes. So we're going to play our game. So it's going to be, I'm going to throw out a statement to Claire, and Claire has to give me what she thinks immediately. Like, what is your gut reaction? What is your gut vibe on my statement? Okay.
Okay.
All right. So pretty easy. Okay. All right, here we go. Agentic shopping will outsell live commerce by 2026. So in total.
Maybe not outsell, but I think it'll definitely be on par.
All right, cool. What is one item you would most definitely impulse add to your Amazon order?
I said it at the beginning of this show, a sweatsuit.
A sweatsuit.
Yeah,
all right.
a sweatsuit.
Labubu will make a resurgence during the holiday. They're kind of down right now. So what do you think?
Definitely. I think stocking
stuffers?
Yeah.
Okay. Aldi will jump Kroger to become the number 2 grocer in the U.S. by 2027.
No.
Okay. Work slop is no big deal and really not a problem.
Yes and no. It's not it is a problem, but I think it'll get better, like I said.
And what will your kids want for Christmas?
To your point earlier, my oldest daughter, she wants to catch them all. She wants anything and everything Pokemon. And younger sister, she's just along for the ride.
Awesome. Well, those are great answers, Claire. Thanks for playing bold vibes. So let's move on to wrap things up. So that's going to wrap us up for Retail Media Vibes, episode number 5. A big thanks to my guest, Claire, for bringing all of her love and energy today to the podcast. Claire, would you come back?
Definitely.
All right.
Yes.
You got to listen to an episode, though, before you come back.
Yeah.
Anything you want to shout out? Anything you want to plug before you wrap it up?
I want to say thank you for having me. I mean, you mentioned this to everyone at the beginning of this, but yeah, it's really cool to see this come to life. I know that this has been a dream of yours for a while, so thank you for having me and letting me be a part of it.
Oh, it's exciting. It was great to have you on. So, all right. Well, to wrap it up, if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to like, subscribe. If you're on YouTube, hit the little bell for notifications. This podcast is a bi-weekly podcast. So just so you know, so a new episode launches every other week, and that's on Saturday afternoons. So you'll see it pop up in your feed if you subscribe. So please like, please subscribe. It definitely helps people learn about the podcast. So I really would appreciate it. And if you have any questions for me, you can send that to retailmediavibes@gmail.com. And so thanks again so much for listening and being with us today. And I definitely promise I will do better next time. All right, BV out.